What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of First and Goal Sports with your boy Tyrone Brown. And ooh, feeling good today. Feeling good today. The Eagles went into Dallas and took care of business. Whooped their ass. Straight beat down. Started off kind of slow, had me a little worried. For those who follow me on social media, y'all know, had me a little worried. Start off a little slow. Jalen taking 5 sacks, the first time ever in his career. But they settled down and put on a beat down. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Dallas was stacked in the box, told Jalen Hurts, hey, you're going to have to beat us. And guess what he did? Ran for 2 touchdowns, threw for 2 touchdowns. Had a turnover in the end zone. It's a great play by Diggs on him. Can't get mad at him for that. That was a great play. That's a great play. The fumble, like Jalen Hurts said, holding the ball too long, I got to protect the football. That's a quarterback who's accountable, who comes out in the midst, hey, I got to be better with the football. And he has been for the last 4 weeks. And despite his turnovers today, he was able to overcome everything and whoop Dallas ass. Man. So before I get started, you already know I got to give y'all the scores for the day. So you had some head scratchers today. So you started off a good week with the Ravens beating the Bengals in a classic battle. That was classic. That was classic. I felt like the Bengals should have took it to overtime because you never know how the coin flip is going to go. I kind of felt like Lamar last TD was kind of lucky on the swing pass to the outside, but hey, you know, I feel like with your season on the line, you on the road, take the points, go into overtime, and see can your defense get a stop, or you may win the coin flip and win. You just never know. We won't know now because the Ravens won. So you had the Panthers beating the Giants today. I watched that game. Daniel Jones cannot play quarterback. Um, he just can't play quarterback. Seriously. I mean, it's that bad. They lost 20-7 overseas this morning. I don't know if y'all watch, but he just can't play quarterback. I mean, he's bad. I mean, as a New York organization, you just keep letting your talent go. Tom Jones is on Facebook. I see you, dog. Welcome to First and Goal Sports, man. Drop your comments. We can talk about it. I just feel like Daniel Jones, you just watch him play, and it's like, as a Giants, it's an organization. Like, how do you make this decision? You could when you have a generational talent, but hey, look, it is what it is. They put all the chips in the wrong basket, so now you got to pay for it. And they lost to the Panthers today. Then you got the Patriots beating the Bears 19-3. Um, there's a lot of noise out there about Caleb Williams being a bust. I don't see it like that. I know he was set up to be very successful with the roster they surrounded him with over there. But at the end of the day, he's still a rookie quarterback. I mean, he got this guy coming in. Oh, he's going to come in and set the NFL on fire and all that. It's like how? Like, what are we talking about here? He still has to be able to learn the flow of the game. Situational football. The NFL is different from college. NFL is a bunch of grown men out there, and the speed is different. Everything is different. It's different. Oh, Joe Sanders Junction, man. Welcome, show. Welcome, Cuzzo. Appreciate you as always. Drop your comments. Yeah. He said he wouldn't be surprised if the Giants fired a coach. I wouldn't be surprised either before the end of the season. But we was on the Bears and the Patriots because I just don't see how people jump on this bull Williams. I mean, he's doing exactly what a rookie quarterback is going through, growing pains. It is what it is. People be like, oh, look at CJ Stroud. Okay. Did y'all forget CJ Stroud struggled in the beginning of last year and struggles at times this year? These are still young quarterbacks. They still got a lot to go. They still got a lot. They have a long way to go. The NFL is not easy. It's not easy. Then you had the 49ers beating the Bucks. And quite honestly, the 49ers don't scare me. I don't know about y'all, but I watched them play today. And it was Christian McCaffrey. Excuse me, y'all. First game back. So I mean, that could mean anything. But I feel like Baker Mayfield, he had every chance to win. I just felt like, if he had his weapons, I think he'd probably beat the Niners because the Niners missed like 3 field goals today. They didn't look good, but they could just be getting their legs under them. So we'll see. And I don't never count them out because they're a good organization and they're well coached, but they didn't look impressive today. But we'll see. They got a big win over the Bucks. So the 49ers beat the Bucks 23-20. Then you got the Broncos, who had every opportunity to beat the Kansas City Chiefs today in Kansas City and got their field goal blocked at the end of the game. But that's a bad team. Bad teams lose, find a way to lose. Joe comes in and says Debo was fighting his own team today. Yes, he was. And I thought that was crazy. You can't do that. You cannot fight your own team. That was crazy. No matter what's going on, we got to stick together. So for him to push his own teammate like that was crazy. It was crazy. But this is why I say the Eagles. Y'all remember how last year went? The Eagles look like a team that's coming together now as the season goes on. They're getting stronger. They look like they did last year in the beginning of the season, but what's supposed to happen was the opposite, which is happening now. They look like they're a little bit dysfunctional. You get to the bye week, you learn your identity, and you start playing good football toward the playoffs. That's what the Eagles are doing right now, and they look really, really good. We got a tough matchup against the Commanders Thursday. We're going to talk about it. Don't worry. But you had the Chiefs beat the Broncos 16-14. Bills beat the Colts 30-20. I don't understand the Colts either. You got a young quarterback over there who needs to play. Why are you wasting your time? Oh, we can get in the playoffs. So you guys are not good enough to win. Let your quarterback develop. You keep benching this guy. He's never going to get a chance to develop. That's all I'm saying. It's just getting to the bit of ridiculous with the Indianapolis Colts. And you would think Shane Steichen's over there. He would know better. He would know better. But we'll see. But right now the Bills is up. They got a good matchup against Kansas City coming up. That's gonna be a tough one. You had the Steelers beat the Commanders today, and don't hey look, I told y'all, I've been saying it, and y'all probably been knowing it without me saying it. But Russell Wilson is cooking. He looked good over there. You know, I told people when you put Russell Wilson in, the passing game looks better. Everybody, Justin Fields, look, Justin Fields can't throw the ball right now. He's still young. And the best thing I think could have happened to Justin Fields is him playing behind Russell Wilson so he can learn how to throw the ball. Did y'all see the touch on that last touchdown pass to Mike Williams to put the Pittsburgh Steelers up 28-27? He was rolling out to his left and he's right-handed and he was still able to put enough touch on that ball to get to it. Man, nice. Joe comes in and says, pressure Daniels. Yes, we're gonna have to get pressure. Absolutely. But I think the main thing to Joe is to stop the Commanders' run game. Make Daniels one dimensional. I think if you could stop the Commanders' run game and say, okay, young bull, let's see what you got. I'll take my veteran defensive coordinator over a young guy anyway. Because they were breaking down the Eagles defense during the show, during the game today. And the way the Eagles play, it makes it very hard to pass the ball on them. The way they're starting to play their zones. Tony Romo broke it down. He said, when this defense is clicking, it's very hard to beat. So we'll see. And then you got to play them on a short week. So that's also, to me, we're a veteran team. That benefits us against a young team, young quarterback. They hot right now, but they lost. We got a chance to really, 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 really put our foot down on them and take over first place solely now by 2 games if you beat them. So we'll see. Right now, Detroit is losing to the Texans 23-13. That matters because if you beat the Commanders Thursday and Detroit loses today, you have the 1 seed throughout the NFC right now. That's a big deal because that means the playoff games will have to come here. You want home field advantage, you want to buy all that good stuff. So it's some big implications going on here. Big, 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 big. So I'm keeping the track. I'm keeping an eye on that game as we're talking right now. I have the pen to my phone, and right now, again, Texans are up 23-13. Another thing that people don't respect about the Eagles is that they win on the road. They win on the road, and I'm gonna tell you right now, any team that wins on the road got a chance to win anywhere. Road wins matter, especially in the NFL, and the Eagles have been very impressive on the road. That's so important to win on the road. You got to defend your house, of course, but when you can win away from your home in tough environments, that's a big deal. So then you got the Vikings squeezing a victory over the Jaguars. I keep telling people the Jaguars not that bad. They're not bad. They're a young team. I think the quarterback's a little overrated, but they lost two of their top wide receivers. So they really out there with nobody. But I don't think the Jags as bad as people think. Their record shows. And they showed you today. They gave the Vikings hell. I think they picked off Dalton. Yeah, they picked off Dalton three times today. They gave them hell. So, but the Vikings squeezed out a win. The Saints beating the Falcons is crazy, but they did. Divisional battle. You just never know how them things are going to go. This is why I say. This is why anybody says, if you watch football, you got to take care of your divisional matchups. The Eagles right now are 2-0 in the division, which is important. That comes down the line. That's important. Take care of business Thursday. You got 10 days off before you see the Rams. You need that rest. And the fact that you were able to rest your players today against this team and sit everybody in the third quarter, the end of the third quarter, the whole fourth quarter is a big deal, especially when you have Saquon getting a little dinged up with his forearm and stuff like that. It wasn't nothing serious. He avoided something major, a broken forearm and stuff like that. But he gets that extended rest. They'll get on a plane. They'll probably be back here by 12 o'clock. They'll probably get tomorrow off, have one practice Tuesday, and then have a little walkthrough Wednesday, and then get ready to play football on Thursday. So preparation is going to be important. But again, we have a veteran coaching staff. So I would, like I said, I would take our veteran coaching staff over going against Washington, young team right now. Yeah, they talented, but they're still young. That's important. You had the Chargers beat the Titans, which I'm not surprised. Then you had the Cardinals just beating up on the Jets. The Jets stink. That is one team that has everything you need and still stink. And that is how you know where football is the ultimate team sport because you can have all the pieces in the world, right? You can have all the pieces in the world. But if you can't come together as a team in football, it don't matter. I'm going to switch gears for a minute. Shout out to the 76ers. They won the night in overtime. Despite they having injury struggles, which has been an issue for them. You got Joel Embiid coming back Tuesday against the Knicks. Tyrese Maxey, as we all know, he's out with a hamstring injury. He's supposed to be evaluated later on this week. Hopefully, they said 2 weeks, but I would be cautious with him just to make sure his hamstring is healthy because his game is speed. So you want to make sure that his legs are 100% healthy. And with JoJo coming back and you still got Paul George, I would kind of I would kind of let Maxey take his time. Yes, McCain did went off because he had 27 tonight, I believe. I watched that game. Uh, the boy Lamelo Ball, he hit a shot to send the game in overtime. That was crazy from the corner, falling out of bounds. I said, God damn! But the Sixers was able to pull it out, and we got the Knicks coming up next. And like I said, we get the big fella back, so we'll see. You know, we got a lot of haters on the Sixers, and I just don't understand why. Have their season started out like they wanted? Obviously not. But it's an 82 game season. They have a great head coach. They have great players. I believe the roster is really good. So all y'all haters keep that same damn energy when we get everybody healthy. Keep that same damn energy. All right. Shout out to the Sixers. A big win tonight. Play the goddamn song. Let's go. All right, moving on. The Jets. Back to the Jets. Losing, getting their ass beat by the Cardinals. 31-6. You talking about a team that has Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Jared Wilson, the running back who I could never remember his name. Oh, Brees Hall. A great defense, a good offensive line. They got Con Reddick. Listen, that is one team that is just dysfunctional. But you've seen that before. We've seen the Eagles be dysfunctional. Do you know why the Eagles didn't make a trade and bring anybody in? One of the things they realized last year was that yes, people were getting hurt, but when they were bringing in different people, the continuity of the team started to fall apart. And that's what happened. That's why the defense started playing super ass at the end because there was no continuity, there was no communication. Everything started to fall off because you got to have players grow together. And what the Eagles are doing with this young defensive team is letting them grow together, which is why you're starting to see the front four complimenting the linebackers. The linebackers are complimenting the secondary, and then vice versa. It goes reverse. Everybody start to talk to each other. Everybody being in their zones, and not to mention, shout out to Howie Roseman, man, for getting it right on the back end with Q and Dejean. All of a sudden, when I see CD Lamb in the slot and I see Dejean across from him, I'm not stressing. When I see when I see the CD going outside and Q's on him, I'm not stressing. I wonder what's going on with Darius Slay though, because he seemed to keep getting dinged up. I don't even know if you play him in the Washington game because it just seemed like the first play of the game, he got something going on with his leg and his knee, his groin. I know they got 10 days off after Washington, so I would see how he feels, but then again, I think he needs the rest and the treatment and the time off for real as we get ready for this crazy ass stretch going on after the Commanders because it gets crazy. I'm gonna run that down too to y'all. Um, you still got the Monday night game, Dolphins and the Rams. That's gonna be a good game. I got the Dolphins winning that game. I just think the Dolphins, with Tua, they're a better team. They're a good team with Tua. You could tell you could tell with their quarterback they look good. I like the Rams, but I don't think they have enough defense. They do have Nakua, they have Coop, they still got Stafford, but I don't trust them. I see Bianca, I see you on Facebook watching. Appreciate you. Welcome to First and Goal Sports. Drop your comments. I can see y'all. Robin, I see you just jumped on too watching. Appreciate you. Welcome to First and Goal Sports. Drop your comments, y'all. I want something to tell me. Y'all want to ask me something? Y'all want to bring something to my attention? Hey, now is the time. Now is the time. But I want to go back to what I was saying about the Eagles real quick. It's a big difference. A year makes a difference. People were upset. Oh, we didn't make any moves. I'm like, yo, they didn't make no moves because Vic Fangio said he liked his squad and they growing. You even saw Huff cause a fumble today and tip a pass. It's like, whoa, Bryce Huff's like taking the binoculars, saw him. That was cool. That means everybody's starting to buy in. Everybody's starting to play together, which is most important. If anybody ever played football or any organized sport, football is the ultimate team sport. Ultimate team sport. Because without the offensive line blocking, you can't get nothing done. It's not like basketball where one guy can take over. You can have a guy take over, but he needs other pieces around him to take over. That's how football works. And on defense, you can have an awesome pass rusher. But if you ain't got no secondary and no linebackers to support this pass rusher, they just won't focus on him. You get cooked. You need everybody in football. You need that. Yes. Joe comes in, he said the defense is having fun. You're right. They doing handstands in the end zone and all kinds of they doing all kind of crazy stuff. If I'm not mistaken, they had 4 interceptions today and one fumble recovery. They cooking. They right now, the Eagles defense is cooking on all cylinders. The Eagles offense is cooking on all cylinders. They started a little slow. Somebody dropped um a picture of what Jalen was looking at when he fumbled. The glare in that stadium is crazy. Now I know both teams got to play with their glare, so I'm not gonna make an excuse, but still, god damn, the glare is just absolute bananas in that stadium. What you have to look into to try to throw the damn ball? It's crazy. Even CD Lamb, he's going across the end zone, and I mean a pass. I mean, you could have shocked him; he would have never seen it coming. You could have shocked him; he would have never seen it coming. It's crazy, 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 crazy. That stadium. All that money, you don't get me started on that stadium. Dallas sucked, period. I'm glad we went in there and whooped their ass, took care of business. The last thing you want to do is let a team like that hang around, get some confidence, and then next thing you know, you're in a dogfight and you ain't got no business being in a dogfight. So we handled business. We whooped their ass, put a 30 burger on them. Ah, Patriot comes in and said, resign Braun. Yes, you need to. I don't think Howie's gonna let him get too much further without giving him something. And that's another reason. If you make a trade, you lose capital and you gotta use cap space. The Eagles right now have 27 million under the cap. They could sign Braun. They can give him a little deal. I think you give him like a 3 year deal, like a 2 or 3 year deal. A little bit of money, get him started. Unless he's waiting, unless he's playing, hey, I'm gonna play this contract out and see how I look at the end of the year. Because he's on a tear. He's on a tear right now. But if you Howie, which we all know how Howie is, he'll probably make you an offer you can't refuse. Once you sit in that office with, Howie, and he start throwing the numbers at you, you be like, I kind of need that signing bonus. I've been my back up a whole year of all my life. Ooh, I'm having my best career year. Let me get that. And Howie's good at getting young talent to play. So we'll see. Right now, the Texans are still beating up on Detroit. I'm not saying beating up, but they're up by 10. So hopefully the Texans can hold on and win. I kind of, he got the confliction because Jared Goff is my fantasy quarterback. So it's like, damn, but I want my Eagles to win. I want my Eagles to have home field. So at the same time, if Jared Goff can have a good game, but they still lose, cool. Uh, Joe comes in and said the Lions just scored. Yes, they did. They got 19. Yep, he just threw a touchdown pass. Okay, I see that. Yep, Lions just scored, and it's a lot of football left, so we'll see. We'll see. I need the Texans to handle business. Ronald, what's going on, man? Welcome to First and Goal Sports. What you got going on? He comes in and he said, definitely agrees. A great player. The Saints missed out on him. Yes, the Saints did miss out on him. But, Vangio has uh, um, an eye for stuff like that. He personally went to Howie and asked for Braun. That lets you know when you get 30 plus years of experience, they have an eye for talent. That's why everybody was going crazy. Oh, Vic Fangio's defense is stupid. And I'm like, God damn, it's the beginning of the season. I just don't understand. My biggest thing with fans sometimes, I'm a fan myself, and I've been part of that um acting out, as they say, too early. And you would think by now that after watching so much football over the course of our lives, right, we will understand that it's a marathon, not a sprint. And you gotta let the shit play out. Because what the Eagles look like now is nothing compared to what they looked at in the beginning of the season. But that's an NFL season. Each week is what, y'all? Practice, preparation, repetition, practice, preparation, repetition. So after a while, if you got good players, you start to see them coming together and you start to get shit done. And that's what the Eagles are doing. And not to mention, we have Vic Fangio. I don't understand what this city was talking about when they were snapping on Vic Fangio. Oh, his defense is trash. Why? Because he's not doing nothing right off the bat. Look at them now. They're the number one defense over the last 5 weeks. Talk to me about it. Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this shit. I gotta move up in my chair for this. I'm hitting the table and all kind of shit. When you look at the Eagles from a defensive standpoint, we won't say that from a defensive standpoint. You look at the Ravens defense, right? They're not good. They're not good. The Ravens do not have good defense. You look at the Buffalo Bills defense. They don't have good defense. They have about average defenses. Detroit Lions, they have a good all-around team, but their defense can be beat. Y'all get what I'm trying to say here. Kansas City has been winning because they are a defensive football team. And Patrick Mahomes hasn't got even cooking yet. and they still won the day because of special teams. The point I'm making is when you put the Eagles roster side by side with anybody in the damn league, the Eagles match up with everybody on both sides of the damn football now. Pass rush is still one of the question marks, but today they got the job done. And they're getting better every week. So now pass rush not even about to be a concern. We keep saying we want to see him, we want to see him. They play Washington. They play Washington Thursday. Washington has a good offense, but their defense is not that great. They don't have a good secondary. They got a couple good pass rushers. But y'all name me somebody besides Dante Flowers on their defense. Seriously. But Jalen's playing, Daniels is playing well. But they got a good offense though. They got Scary Terry on the outside. You got Austin Eckler. You got the boy Robinson. Zach Ertz seems to be, rejuvenated over there. He's playing good football. So we'll see. But again, the Eagles remind me of a team that nobody can beat if they don't beat themselves. That's just my opinion. It could be because I'm a homer, but I'm looking at it from a talent standpoint. I'm looking from a talent standpoint. Ronald comes in and says, "What happened was that we started to listen to past players who couldn't play in this defense, so they were trying to throw shade our way." Okay, I can see that. I can see that because even Seth Joyner was questioning who's one of my favorite Eagles, but even Seth has even caught on and started to say, he was wrong. He admitted. He said, "I was wrong." When I hear a player, a former player, tough, y'all know Seth Joyner, right? Seth Joyner is a problem. He was a problem when he played. Okay, Seth Joyner was a problem when he played football. So he was no joke for real. So when he comes out and he can admit that he was wrong, you know, it is what it is. Patriot comes in and says, "Our wives usually cook DBs on Washington." They should. I don't think Washington has enough pass rush to get to Jalen Hurts. I don't. I just my personal opinion. I think if you come out and run the ball like they did today, eventually it'll start to pick up and you start to do what you got to do. He got Patriots say he got Skinny Batman with two TDs on the Commanders. Okay. Hey, look, I like it. Y'all talk about it. I like it. Hey, I'm with it. I'm with all the shits when it comes to our team beating everybody and doing what we have to do. But the only thing I was really trying to say was that when you look at the Eagles roster from a roster standpoint, the only question mark was the defense because they were young and they were starting over. But when you look at the Eagles offense, what offense would you really take over the Eagles right now? You got two number one receivers. You have a number one tight end when he's healthy. You have a generational no, hold on. Let me rewind. Let me rewind this shit. You have a generational talent at wide receiver, a number one wide receiver on the other side, a number one tight end. You have the best, I don't give a damn what nobody says, offensive line in football. You have a good quarterback, and you have a generational talent at running back. I'm just saying they match up with everybody. If they don't beat themselves, they're in every damn game. Like today, they was losing because what? The penalties, and they were beating themselves. But the moment they shut it down and just play football, they whoop their ass. That's what I'm saying. Detroit, they have a great offense. That's one of the scariest offenses in the league. And so when you looked at everybody's offense versus the Eagles' defense earlier on, you're like, I don't know if we got enough defense. But as you see Vangio starting to scheme up, starting to put players where they can play. DeJean is healthy now. You saw him on that punt return. Q, he just shutting everybody the hell down. And if Slade can get healthy and stay healthy, you got two corners, two number one corners. My question mark would be safety. I think CJ is good, but I don't think he's good man to man. I think he's more of a center field safety. So we have to see how that play out. But at the end of the day, the point I'm just making is that the Eagles match up with everybody. And if they start playing good football, they can beat anybody. That's all. But we'll see against the Commanders. I'm going to talk about that right now. I'm going to jump in this Commander game. Jump in this Commander game real quick. So Before I start, I'm gonna give you the scores again real quick. So you had the Ravens beat the Bengals 35-34. Panthers beat the Giants 20-17. Patriots beat the Bears 19-3. 49ers beat the Bucks 23-20. The Chiefs beat the Broncos 16-14. Buffalo beat the Colts 30-20. The Steelers beat the Commanders 28-27. The Vikings beat the Jags 12-7. The Saints beat the Falcons 20-17. The Chargers beat up on the Titans 27-17. The Jets got their ass beat by the Cardinals 31-6. The Eagles whooped the Cowboys ass in Dallas, went into their house and changed the locks in that mug. 34-6. Right now you have the Texans holding on with the football right now. 23-20. So we'll see how that turns out. You got the Dolphins and the Rams tomorrow. I'm gonna pick the Dolphins. Then you got next week. I'm gonna jump into those real quick. You got the Commanders, Eagles. I'm gonna jump back to that real quick. But you got Raiders, Dolphins. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. Browns, Saints at home. I gotta pick the Saints. They seem rejuvenated ever since they changed their head coach. So I'm gonna go with the Saints. And I just don't trust Jameis Winston to get the job done. I think he's an interception machine. He can say what he wants. He can do all that talking. I don't have a problem with Jameis Winston, but I just know he doesn't win at quarterback. He has 100 interceptions. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna pick the Saints at home. I'm gonna pick the Colts to beat the Jets because I'm not picking the Jets no more this year. I can give a good goddamn. We pick the Vikings to beat the Titans, the Packers to beat the Bears. I don't think the young quarterback ready. He still needs the time. I think another off season. Williams to be ready. I got the Lions beating the Jags. Then you got the Rams and the Patriots. I'm gonna take the Rams, of course. I'm gonna take the Ravens Steelers. Let's go back to that. Whoa, we'll go back to that game. 49ers Seahawks. I'm gonna pick the 49ers. I don't trust the Seahawks. They bipolar as hell. Um, Broncos Falcons. I'm gonna take the Broncos because they're at home and they play good defense. And the Falcons, I just don't trust them. I don't trust them after a game like after losing to the Saints. I don't trust the Falcons. I think the Broncos are tough. They run the football. They play defense. They tough. Then you have the Chargers and the Bengals. I'm gonna take the Bengals. Then you got the Bills and the Chiefs. Now I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say the Bills beat the Chiefs in Buffalo. It's in Buffalo. Josh Allen. I believe they beat the Chiefs. I just don't think the Chiefs are playing good enough offensively right now. And I think the Bills, even though the Chiefs are undefeated, I think the Bills are just waiting on them. And they set Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's going to play that game on Sunday. It's a 425 game. I'm gonna take the Buffalo Bills to beat the Chiefs next week. Then let's scroll back to this Ravens Steelers. Wow, in Pittsburgh. Damn, oof, that's a tough one. I would say I would have to go Ravens because I don't trust Pittsburgh's secondary. Even though the Ravens defense is not all that great either. Pittsburgh has a pass rushers and linebackers, but I do not trust the Steelers secondary against Lamar right now, how Lamar is throwing the football. So I'm gonna pick the Ravens in a tight one, probably like a 24-20 type game. But Russell Wilson has been cooking, and they're at home. That's a tough game. That's a tough game. I may change. I may come back to that, y'all. But right now, I'm gonna go. My feeling is the Ravens, but we'll see. And then, of course, to start it off, Eagles Commanders in Philly at the link to showdown before they get down. So we want to see. I mean, I got the Eagles winning that game in a real close one, 27-20. I think the Commanders are tough, but I think a young team on a short week coming to Philly after a tough physical game against the Steelers is not good. It's not good because the recovery. I mean, for what I'm understanding, teams that play after they beat the Steelers are like 0 and something. I got to get the stat. I'll put it on my Facebook page. and you guys can check it out. But I'm gonna take the Eagles at home, 27-20. Let me know how y'all feeling. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support, everybody that's watching. I do this because it's fun. I love talking sports. I love talking to y'all. It's a good time. It's a good time for me. This is like a walk in the park for me. I could do this all the time. So I just work a lot. So a bill's got to be paid, as they say. But before I go, I want to say thank everybody for logging on. I appreciate y'all. It's been a good show. Fly will fly. Dallas up as we get ready for the Commanders to go up 2 games on the Commanders and take over sole first place in the NFC. And still yet to be determined. We still got to hope the Texans handle business. So we'll see. But I want to say everybody have a good night. Have a good work week. And I appreciate the love and support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share the channel with people you think would be interested in hearing what I have to say, and drop your comments in the box as well. All right. Everybody have a good night. Talk to y'all soon. Go Birds.